Right, welcome back. Last time we embraced a couple institutions. What were they? Casual literacy and scientific methods. As a result, academia is starting to spread, and global trade will eventually spread once commercialization spreads a bit further. Specifically into these two provinces, then I can still get it from Parancocha. Yeah. All those things remain cordial with English Peru. Do have English Brazil's arrival though. Thankfully, I have, well, ideas that give me power, very efficient military. Yeah. I've also been working towards building up the military a bit more, not by a huge amount. That's going to take some time. And some more recruitment effort. However, the taxes have been reduced again, at least in admin and diplo, and I've actually started increasing military taxation again. After all, I have a huge population, I need to start using it for military stuff. Eventually. I've also continued colonizing a bit more, zoning out an area that I have to quietly colonize for myself, starting with this province and then moving out once I'm done with Bahrain. The stuff down here is mostly nomadic, so that's honestly more trouble than it's worth. I've also started working on reducing the power of the aristocrats in the hopes of getting this, well, getting them down to gentry. It's going to take time though, it's certainly going to take time. But once I do that, their power is permanently reduced. So I won't need to touch them for a while unless I want to get to freeholding, which is an amazing thing to go for, but not something I know. I've never managed to do it. I have freed the peasantry before, but I've never managed to get to freeholding. So, yeah. And admittedly, since the Victoria 3 equivalent is commercialized agriculture, and because of how long it takes for you to get that, yeah, kind of makes sense. Although then again, I never even managed in the Dithmarschen game, in which, yeah. Anyway. Things are going fairly well outside of tech costs continuously increasing. And the fact that the only expansion direction is basically England, who on their own has 150k troops, not to mention 8. Sorry, the number is updated. They now have 9 colonies. At the very least, they have a massive coalition made of the HRE, so there's a chance things will go sideways for them, but they have a lot of subjects. In fact, they even got in Burgundy and integrated it, which is why we have English France here. Hooray. I've also been building up fortifications recently in the hopes of A, better protection, and B, getting more army tradition. Really more of a ladder, so. Anyway, onwards. Oh, 2 new idea groups as well. Economic ideas and evangelical ideas. Okay, now we can move on. Right, line infantry. Siege ability plus 5%, mill tactics plus 0.25. How often do we get mill tactics buffs? 4 techs in a row, jeez. That's actually quite a bit. So, combat with plus 3, infantry fire plus 0.25, and enables new infantry. That's not much of a difference. I'll take the platoon fire. Oh, that artillery fire buff. On the other hand, if I wait a little while, it will reduce in cost. With time, so. Shows superiority. I mean, if that's the oracles, I could probably... Yeah, maybe. Okay, combat width is 27, and the... Well, the terrain get up to, well, generally speaking, I'm looking at minus 40, 33%, so let's just say 20. So, plus 6, plus 4. Get prepared for a war. I think I can handle it. Assuming that I take the tech and England doesn't. The depot system tech. Since that mill tactics plus, as well as more than doubling the fire of artillery is going to be impressive in its impact. Leave this up here just in case. I am well aware I'm not going to have any ships. At the very least I have, well, reasonable defenses, although it may take some time for new star forts to be built. Okay, I'm probably going to need the tech. Good, it doesn't seem like England has it yet. Ooh, regimental guns! That would be an even better improvement, wouldn't it? Let's see, how many more pips? 1. Never mind, I'm not particularly interested. Okay, the troops up there are just in case, because I'm not sure how much gets dragged into the war. It's entirely possible that England brings everyone in, which would be insanely bad. Or it's just me, Peru, and England, which would be very good. But I need to declare war at some point. If only to bring this into the fold. Drat, it is everything. Okay. Not sure if I can win that. Considering they have... I want to say... 6 times as many troops as I do. Well, I do have defensive terrain, so that might be enough. Admittedly, Peru's not going to have much to them, so... I just gotta win battles. How hard can it be? How hard can that be? Fine, I'll take it. It's pretty bad, but it's not the worst it could be. I do wonder when Colombia's going to start sending troops in. Well, there is at least one good thing. Their allies weren't dragged in, so... Of course, the likelihood of that helping much is very slim. Additionally, England is the war leader, so... Yeah, I'm gonna need to win lots and lots of battles in order for it to count. But they've been avoiding battles, as far as I can tell, so... English Peru has surprisingly good spy detection. I'm gonna need manpower, so I'm probably gonna need 3 armies walking about. No, jeez. They're pretty much on par. That's not good at all. I can just promote their faction, it's good enough. Yeah. Let's let that power decrease even faster. If things go well, I can actually transition to gentry in the next decade. Now that would be nice and useful. Ah, and Demi has now arrived in Gola. I can wait until it arrives in Sharka, though. Whoa! Okay, that was amazing. Did I just stack wipe them that hard? Wow! Wow! That's gonna do so much. Well, they're only tech level 41. Okay. That at least makes sense. Being able to smash them to pieces like that? That's not something you normally can do against an... I mean, sure, I did have some advantages, but it was only jungle flat, so that's a -1 die roll for the attacker. That's not normally possible, even if the enemy only has 2/3 the troop count. And you have defensive terrain buff. Fort level 5. You know what? No. I am not sieging that down. Discipline is an extremely powerful buff. I am absolutely using that. I can't wait to see what I get out of the 5 manpower taxation. Sure, this is 4 fort levels, which is only 1 less than that one, but I also don't have to deal with the fact that... Oh, yeah, I think that's fine. I can probably win a siege race. Yeah, okay. Given that there's not really anyone to distract me, I can go ahead and start finding enemy templates. Okay. Set up a 30 stack. Oh. 16, 4, 10. Yeah, that's relatively safe. As long as no one invades by the coastline. To be honest, I'm not sure if anyone would. England seems to not care at all, to be honest. I have not seen them directly intervene. Sure, the war hasn't, although the war hasn't been going on for that long. English Brazil again. I can win. Besides, I need to win battles. More battles. And win hard. Jeez, that's terrible stats. Why is your military... Oh, it's bad discipline. Okay, right. Discipline directly affects your military tactics. Sadly, no stack wipe. But... progress. Progress. I'll be fighting all those, but it's fine. Even if it's Wooded Hills. Oh, okay, that might be a little more troublesome. Or not, if I roll that well on the first thing. Quality! Oh, the English troops are finally here. Unlike the colonial garrisons, they might actually cause trouble, because there's A, the sheer quantity of them, and B, the fact that probably have reasonably good discipline, unlike the colonial garrisons. Okay, good. They didn't win the siege. Okay, I can have 4 without penalties. Oh yeah, I forgot how little colonial stuff costs. So they would be willing to accept this peace deal. Already, jeez. And I can actually grab a lot without worries. Because, well, yes, it does create a bunch of aggressive expansion. Still work with it. And this should be a fine battle for me. Considering Alpine Tundra. There we go. Revolts in England. I mean, if I want to fast forward, this is the best opportunity to get that. Just need to double check to see if things are actually valuable. Yeah, I'd say the Atacama is not worth it. But again, it is pretty close. How good is communication down here anyway? Ah, actually, it's pretty good. Can't do that. Yeah, right. Apparently Iberia exists. It's not great. I should embrace academia now. Okay. Oh. Core all. And amazingly, overextension is only 50%. Considering the sheer quantity of territory that I just conquered, that's surprising. Honestly, it all had to do with the fact that the war goal was not an occupation. It was to show superiority. Right? Hey. What's the chance of that happening? Continue doing the full grain provision because, to some degree, this is my only chance of keeping things together. Oh. Apparently, noble power was much weaker inside of the newly conquered provinces. And since quite a few of them are close to the homeland, they have far more influence on the power politics. Yes. Heck, over here. So it probably would be fine to let the normal rate of change occur. For 5 years, maybe? Or I could just perform as soon as possible. Admittedly, there is no opportunity like right now, so do it. That's gonna probably leave some provinces at 0% loyalty. But that's okay. We now have gentry. The nobles no longer have resting gravity from rural governance, and their power from wealth is heavily reduced. The final form will severely weaken them permanently by removing feudal dues entirely. At least on the peasantry. Further reduce their power from wealth and increase productivity, but they need to go down to 35 average power. If I can ever get to that point, that would be glorious. Of course, now I have to deal with the consequences. I'm at -1 stability, after recently conquering a huge portion of territory. Things will get interesting very quickly. Yeah, I think this is a good point to stop. No, there's nothing here for me to do. I could go ahead and do so. Never mind, I cannot actually do reforms because the new provinces have. Well, expand the bureaucracy. So I'm gonna need to do that. And make the newly christened gentry happy. Because they are called gentry now. Support commerce. Show of devotion. I will get to this eventually. But that's a long-term goal. I do wonder. I suddenly have a curiosity in there if there's anything really good with 6. It's just the same regular buffs. Okay. It doesn't weaken the nobles or anything, the gentry. Although you need at most 50 average power to get to meritocratic bureaucracy for that. Huh, jeez. Anyway, in case you can't tell, I fought a war against England, and I managed to win. It's because the Casus Belli, the Holy War Casus Belli, has a war goal of show superiority. And I won every battle I went into. Sure, the war lasted for 2 years, maybe, and the English only managed to get 1 set of troops in, but I was able to do so well. I have completely taken over English Peru, as well as quite a few provinces off of English Colombia. I'll get to Brazil eventually, it's just that, yeah. I mean, I could actually take over the continent if I really wanted to at some point sooner. Keeping it would not be easy, though, that's for sure. And I am having trouble keeping everything together. The sheer quantity of rebel factions, even with 1 stability and full grain provision, is very indicative of how long it's going to take for me to just keep this going. At least for a while. Additionally, it does mean that there are some impossibilities when it comes to global trade. So now it's not going to spread via trade at all anymore. No matter what I want. Even if there were a trade center in here, which there isn't, yeah. It would be very difficult to get an English Columbia to like me again. I did underestimate how much war score costs of colonial provinces are. Is a colony. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Colonies dramatically reduce it. Minimum cost of 1%, yeah. The cost of taking a like plus 25% for the cost of taking a province. So most of these colonial provinces are 1.2. Not all of them though, some of the more heavily developed ones are, well, you know, 2.5%. It just goes to show how easy it is to conquer colonial provinces. It comes with a hefty amount of aggressive expansion, but hey, it works. I've also done some map stealing, so I have a better idea of what's going on. Among other things, Hungary is no longer on the list. I presume that they formed the Eastern Roman Empire, so... We also have Iberia. And less weirdly, Russia, Great Tsar. Okay, Great Tsar still is a bit strange, considering that Ming is the one that historically managed to win, but... The initial situation in China is so chaotic that there's almost no way to predict a winner, at least not until a couple decades have passed. There's also Bohemia and Milan. It's a bit weird for Bohemia to be independent, but personal unions are tough to get to work exactly as you want them to. I think Iberia just conquered, well, Portugal. Considering I think this color matches Portugal's color, so I think they still exist. It's just not easily visible. England owns the Azores, that's for sure. Anyway, I have grabbed the Academia Institution, and global trade will slowly, extremely slowly spread. Yeah, it takes about 75 years per province. I mean, it should be a little faster in the capital. But there's several provinces until it actually reaches the capital. And the speed at which it will arrive is very, very slow. Admittedly, I think it might actually take so long that I don't think I can get the institution. At least not that way. But now I have almost all the control of this node. So that's good. Do I have a trait steering buff? Well, that's something I can handle later, after all. I should finish up the video. Subtech, and I managed to get Gentry, so... Which is why I haven't bought tech in a while. Well, not that long. The plus 5%. I'd rather not you do anything while that's active. Additionally, So Discontent has been unlocked by a reasonable number of countries, so English Brazil keeps doing that to me. I've also swapped around the taxation scheme to 10-10-4. This is in order to ensure that I at least get enough money so that I can start investing in infrastructure and institutions without taxing the country to oblivion, or spending all the money on ensuring that manpower is maintained. I'm not entirely certain how timber's doing. Oh, okay, I'm finally producing more timber than I'm consuming, at least within the main node. This node, yeah. But hey, the timber industry is now finally up to what it should be. So that should mean that the mines are doing better. In fact, I think the coal industry looks good. Yes, very good. Which is excellent because I need coal. Ignore the decreasing innovativeness levels from the fact that apparently no one ever takes evangelical ideas. Don't ask me why, just apparently it's the case. No one's taken them beyond idea 2. I mean, I guess cost of enforcing religion through war minus 33% is bare bones in its usefulness. Still, it's a bit strange. Anyway, I have definitely gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then.